Hi, I'm Robert. Welcome back to My Dirty Kitchen. Tonight, I'm going to be grilling some ribeyes that I've been marinating out for the last couple of hours. I just took them out of the Ziploc bag. I'm going to grill those ribeyes. I'm steaming some green beans behind me right now, and I've almost got enough water boiling here to cook my pasta, which is a wild mushroom ravioli. And with that wild mushroom ravioli, I'm also going to be putting together a little garlic parmesan cream sauce that'll just make that really yummy. And I'm looking forward to to getting that together. Um, I promised my friends on Facebook that I'd be giving up some flavor secrets, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that now while I'm waiting on my water to finish boiling back here. I'm afraid it's probably just outside the camera angle, so you can't really see it. But one thing that I do to add flavor to all my foods, and it doesn't really add any calories, is anytime I need to boil or steam anything, I add either a beef or a chicken base to that. Now, a base is like bouillon, but it's a little stronger, a little more concentrated. Comes in a paste. You can find it on any grocery store shelf. Buy it in bulk at Sam's Club if you like. But it adds a little kick of flavor to any food that you like. That's really, for your guests, if you have guests, it's really hard to figure out where the flavor's coming from. So, looks like we're starting to boil right now. So I'm going to just drop these raviolis down in my boiling water. Now, I like to cook pasta in a wide, shallow pan, maybe even a big deep skillet if that's what I'm using, because I think that the pasta cooks better, especially if you're cooking spaghetti. Spaghetti in a wide deep pan will fall right down in there, and really doesn't need to break or bend or anything. It just cooks a whole lot faster. Almost got it all in there, and once that returns to a boil, I'm going to have to cook it about 3 minutes. Now it's 3 to 4 minutes, but I'm going to the light side because I'm going to cook up this cream sauce while this is draining. After I drain the water out of it, and then I'm going to put it back in the cream sauce, in hot cream sauce, for a little while to finish cooking and stay warm. Got to get my colander out here so that I can drain that. Got one of these little pop-out colanders that I put in my Narasink here, just in case I need to drain something. But while I'm waiting on that, I'm going to go ahead and finish seasoning my steaks. Now, like I said, I marinate these, and I have my own little secret recipe for marinade. But I also put a steak seasoning on here that I use, and a little more on there than I like. That has a combination of a lot of different things in it. Just put that on there and rub that in good. Spread it out if I get any big clumps on there. And then once I get this done, I'll talk to you about the cream and garlic, or the parmesan and garlic sauce that I'm going to put on the pasta. There we go. Those are nice and coated. We like our steaks medium rare around here, and these steaks are about 1.25 inches thick. So I'll estimate it'll take about 5 minutes per side to get these to medium rare. I have a pretty hot grill, and I don't have to cook with the lid closed. It'll cook just fine with the lid open. And with these ribeyes, because of the fat involved, we're going to get a little flame up here every once in a while. But we'll monitor that and make sure that we don't actually burn the steaks with the flame. Okay, our pasta is really just starting to boil again. It's just bubbling on the edges a little bit. So I'm going to start my 3-minute timer. I'm using a timer that probably most of you have, my iPhone, and so I've already got that set for 3 minutes. I'm just going to start the timer right now. But at 3 minutes, I'll check the pasta, and if it's not really done, then I'll let it cook a few seconds longer. While it's cooking, I want to go ahead and talk to you about the ingredients in the cream sauce. I have here 2 cups of heavy cream. Now, of course, with cream sauce, you got to have some cream. But one of the big ingredients in here, of course, is Parmesan. So I'm going to dump a cup of Parmesan cheese, shredded Parmesan cheese, not grated, shredded Parmesan cheese in here. And just stir that in very good. We also need some garlic. Now, I cook for a lot of people here a lot of the time, so most of the ingredients I keep around, I keep in bulk. And I have this granulated garlic that I use a lot of the time. And I've got 2 tablespoons in here, but I'm only going to put about half of it in here. And we'll see what it tastes like. I may end up seasoning it to taste after it cooks for a couple of minutes. The other ingredient I'll be adding to this is about a cup of beef broth. It just happens to be the same beef broth that I'm cooking the ravioli in right now. So I add a little flavor to my sauce by cooking the beef broth. So here we go. We got our sauce right here. I've reserved a little Parmesan here to put on top of the raviolis when they go on the plate. But anyway, we're moving right along. We've got about 1.5 minutes on the raviolis, and it's boiling nicely. I want to keep an eye on my beans, make sure that we don't run out of water, and it's still steaming nicely, so I'm sure that we still have water in there. And so now, while I'm waiting on that to cook, I'm going to go ahead and put my steaks on the grill. I have a pretty big grill here, and I usually light the whole thing, for even heat, regardless of how much I'm going to cook. So, and I got all these steaks on here. Now this handle's a little hot here, so I'm going to use one of my towels here to pick it up. It's kind of heavy too, and out of balance. So what I want to do is just pour just about a cup of my beef broth off into this. And I'm making a mess. There goes a ravioli in there. And there's about a cup of my beef broth. And the rest of it, I'm just going to pour down the drain. I have my ravioli there in the colander. Alright then. So I'm going to turn this burner down to its lowest point. And if you cook with gas, you'll know that its lowest point is not very low at all. So you really want to keep an eye on that. I'm going to wipe the mess off I've got here from the beef broth. I'm going to dip this one ravioli out and put it over here with what's cooking, and just stir this up a little more. Now, this won't make a real thick cream sauce, a real sticky cream sauce, because I don't really have any thickener in here, but it'll just add some flavor to the pasta. I don't want to make it real thick, real heavy, even though it's got cream in it. And I'm just going to put this back in the pan I just dumped the pasta out of, and put it over low heat. Put it back over low heat until it starts to boil. Drop this down in my dishwater. Stir everything up in the pan really good. We don't have much flame up right here right now. We have a little bit under there, and the juices are starting to come out of the top of the steaks, which to me means that those are about done. Anytime you're handling steaks, it's a bad idea to use a fork or a knife or a pair of tongs or anything like that, because you just squeeze the juices out of them. Excuse me. I use just a flat stainless steel turner here for just about everything I cook on the grill. Let's check the time here again. The cream sauce is starting to get warm. It's steaming there, and it's time to turn these steaks. So I'm going to want to turn these in the order that I put them on the grill. Got nice grill marks on them there. And just get them there. But this one is not cooking quite as fast as the rest of them. I'm going to move them over here to this side of the grill where I believe it's a little hotter. Now here's another flavor secret for you. Now this one is not as easy on your calorie count as the one with the broth, but one of the things that I do, and I've still got some butter left over from my French toast yesterday morning, so I'm just going to brush this side of the steak with some butter, with some melted butter, and that'll keep it moist, keep it from drying out. Really one of the secrets to having really moist steaks. And when that butter drips over the sides, it will cause some flame out, so you don't want to, take and put that butter on there and make it run off the sides. Just a light amount of butter. I want to check my beans here. Make sure they're still steaming. They are. We haven't run out of water in that pan. I've got those turned on the lowest mark, and they're almost done. And my cream sauce is getting warm. All the seasonings are starting to dissolve. I'm just going to take a little taste of it here. And I think we have about the right amount of garlic in there. There's not a lot. So let's just turn the heat back up on that a little bit. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to put my plates out so that I can plate the food up here just as soon as it's done. There's 3 of us tonight, my wife and one of my daughters, and we're going to have a really good meal here on Sunday night. The time I'm looking for on the steaks now is 7:16. Okay, I'm starting to get some tiny bubbles here in the cream sauce. So I'm going to take my pasta and I'm just going to lay it back in there by hand. You notice I'm handling this ravioli by hand. It's a little hot still. I may not do that all the time, but if you dump it, it could break and you lose what's inside. And that's really the great thing about ravioli is not necessarily the pasta, but the things that are inside of it. So we want to hang on to keep all those wild mushrooms inside that pasta. Okay. It looks like we're going to be done with the steaks here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to just turn those back over one more time. I'll get some flame up when I do that. Oh, that was a good one. And I'm going to brush this side with butter. Just a couple little brushes here. Adds a little more flavor to the steak. I'm turning my grill off now. I've got some flames going up there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and plate these steaks. I have one extra one on here that we'll eat for lunch or something like that. If my wife's closing on tomorrow night, then maybe I'll just eat it for dinner. But here we go. So we have our steaks plated up. I'm going to set this one off, this spare one off. I'm just going to set it off here on the counter. Let you see those nice grill marks here. Real nice grill marks. And then put my spatula back over here in the sink. Okay, so now our green beans are pretty much done. And I've got a little steamer basket inside a pot that I use to cook these with. And I'm just going to take a pair of tongs here. I'm going to grab the pan and pull the lid off. A pair of tongs. And lift out some of these green beans on each plate. Now these will be a little salty from the chicken broth I steamed them in, but only a little. We'll probably put a little salt on those. But then the other thing I'm going to do with what's left of my butter is I'm just going to brush these beans with a little more butter here. Or a little butter. They haven't been buttered yet, but just a little butter on the beans. Just for flavor. And then I'll take my sea salt. sprinkling a little bit. It's time to get a refill of my sea salt. Just a little sprinkle here. Alright. And now my pasta's boiling nicely. I'm going to move it around and make sure that it's everything's coated good there. I just turned the heat off out from under that, and this pasta's looking really good. So in this case, I smell the garlic. The garlic's really just coming through it now. So I'm just going to bring my plate over the pot and with a pan and pull out just 4 or 5 of those raviolis on a plate. Again, I want to be gentle not to break them open. Got a little cream sauce there with them. And there we go. We're going to top the pasta with just a little bit of parmesan here. Just a little sprinkle. And we have a nice Sunday evening steak dinner. I'm going to set this plate right under the camera so you can get a good look at it there. And I promised you guys that I would tell you how to get a bottle of my secret marinade. So here goes. If you go to my YouTube page, my YouTube channel, and put a comment on there after you see this video, the first 5 people that put a comment on my YouTube video are going to get a free quart bottle of my steak marinade. So there you go, that's it. Thanks for coming, and we appreciate you watching My Dirty Kitchen. Good night.